Hi, I'm
And I'm
Valerie.
Taylor, and welcome to
Whimsy Gossip, where we talk all things
and our favorite
fantasy.
ways to escape reality.
Grab a cup of tea or
Tea.
coffee and join us for episode 3.
Wow, it's already
Cheers.
episode 3. Cheers. This is wild.
I know. Do we have any Office fans out there, by the way? Notice my mug.
World's best boss. If you're watching on YouTube,
Yes.
if you're listening, it says world's best boss. Mine is just a plain white mug. There's nothing fancy about it.
Well, if it had a chip in it, it could be like chip.
Ah, well, I don't have one of those. Anyway,
So, yeah, so today's episode, we are going. I'm so excited. I say this every episode that I'm so excited for the episode, but like I really am because obviously we're like creating the episode content, so I just get so excited every time we get to film one of the new ones. But we're going to be comparing Throne of Glass to ACOTAR, coming from a perspective of both of us have not read Throne of Glass yet.
I think we're making
But as you can
predictions
see,
about Throne of Glass. So we're doing blind predictions if we're going to like Throne of Glass or not. After both of us have finished ACOTAR and we have Throne of Glass on the deck, ready to go. I have been dying to
yes,
read these books. I've had them for about a month now, and they have just been taunting me because we are reading them together.
yes.
So I'm really excited.
Yes, because this is going to be after this episode, it's going to be a 3-part
Yeah,
series. So we're going to break the book up into 3 different parts,
the first
and
book.
then do an episode do an episode of the first book of Throne of Glass. And then we're going to do an episode in between those parts and kind of talk about our thoughts so far, or any other predictions that we have, and things like that. But before we even read it, I have some of the synopsis. So I words. Let me know what that is actually pronounced. Some of the like summaries, so to speak,
The descriptions of the book.
of
There you go.
the descriptions of the book. Yes. Thank you, Taylor. I am challenged.
It's early.
But before we get into that, I just want to make an announcement that I have finally finished Silver Flames. And holy cow. Oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna say, like, so we have another episode talking about books 3, 4, and 5. So I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but I will say, like, it was a slow burn. It was a really slow burn for me. But it kind of makes sense with the length of the book. I mean, that book was kind of like
I think it's over
ACOTAR
750
and
pages.
yeah, it was basically Mist and Fury and ACOTAR, like if they were one book almost. I
Mm.
think it's like that was ACOTAR and Mist and Fury are a little bit more, but because I felt like ACOTAR was a slow burn as well. Like that first book, it took a really long time, and I feel like we were kind of starting. We knew the world, we knew the characters, but we were kind of starting from scratch in a whole nother person's mind, in Nesta's mind, and in Cassian's head as well. And like, so it was a slow burn, but when I tell you, I was sending Taylor Snapchats yesterday, on my way to work, cry. I was like, ugh, that last scene, those last few scenes, I could not. And it was really emotional, and I really loved it. I really love how they did the whole book. I really love how Sarah J. Maas gave 2 other characters a huge moment, and it makes me excited for what she's going to do in book 6. And so, yeah. And also, I just want to mention that
Oh gosh.
Cassian.
Oh gosh. I was waiting.
You know what I'm
You
going
know
to
what you're
say.
gonna say.
Cassian, at the very end of the book, has this whole thing and this whole exchange with Eris where he's like giving him so much grace and understanding and talking about how his dad was abusive, and Eris probably isn't a bad person. And let me just tell you, if y'all haven't seen episode 1, I was screaming. I was fuming. I was like, oh my gosh, why can Eris, who I love, by the way, and I never thought he betrayed them. Spoiler alert. I never thought, this whole thing is spoilers, but I never thought Eris actually betrayed them. And I've always kind of liked him. I don't know why. Well, maybe maybe with my track record of liking the characters, you know why. But yeah, like I don't know. What did you think about that when I sent you? I don't know if you
So
saw my
I never
snaps
thought
fuming or
like
not.
Eris was conventionally evil. There was something in one of the books where he pointed out somewhere that he actually kind of helped more or less, or something like that. Like I know she got freaking like she has something nailed into her uterus, like a sign nailed into her uterus, which is obviously horrid. Um, but Eris multiple times, I think, has said something along the lines of like ask the more again, or ask more, like she knows, she knows. And I don't know. And I also saw something somewhere that Eris um I, anyway, this will totally get into like our books 3, 4, and 5, because I feel like this is way too in depth.
Yeah, yeah, we can
Yes, but
continue
I don't
that.
think
But
he's
like,
inherently
I
evil. I think he's very
no,
self-serving. I think he serves himself, but he also serves the greater good. Like, do I think he was a good
right?
brother to Lucian? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I love Lucian, but I think
Yes,
he's not like as evil as his father. He's a better version of his father, but
right.
he's still very self-serving. But nonetheless, I mean, all the High Lords seem to be self-serving to some degree.
Right. And the thing is, I liked that ending, even though it had me fuming for Tamlin. I liked the ending because it really did show like how it is this depth of a story and this human of a story where it's like we don't know, you don't know everything about people. And I think it was really cool to see Cassian kind of come to peace with that in that moment, and with him to like walk out the door and turn around and just be like, you're not so bad, bro. Like, you know, and like give Eris a little bit of something and then like leave. I'm just like, you know, like I really respect that. And so I'm it gave me hope. And I think that like that means that maybe a Tamlin situation of that sort will be on the horizon.
Can I just say, it just
Um,
proves my point to drive home once again. Cassian is the only acceptable book boyfriend. Like,
yes, I'm not gonna lie, like I love Cassian so much. I love Nessian. I love Nesta. I'm after finishing it, like I don't know, I couldn't see your obsession until I finished. I don't know why. I couldn't fully get there. I was like, okay, yeah, I like Cassian. Okay, yeah, I like Nesta's not too bad. Like I like her growth, but I couldn't get to like Team Nessian until like the finish. I don't is it does that seem I don't know.
I think it was, again, I just loved Cassian as a character from the jump. Like, something about his, like,
Yeah.
silly playfulness almost was like, that's more my speed. But
But don't you feel like by the end of the book, it was those last few chapters and then like that it really just
oh, it
like
solidified
I don't
everything
know.
for me that he is my favorite Bat Boy. And then Nesta, I knew she had so much potential. Like, you're just not evil. Like, she's not just mean for no rhyme to reason. And I love how Sarah J. Maas really showed her like mental health development, and like seeing the problem, confronting the problem. Like, oh, it was so good. Sarah J. Maas did such a good job. These characters are so in depth, and they are not surface level characters whatsoever. And she made sure not one
No.
character is surface level. Like, every character has a story, every character has so much to them. And I think that's the power of her writing.
I totally agree. And I do want to say too, without I think going into too much more detail about Silver Flames, because we'll be doing that later. I also feel like I have withdrawals. And I also feel like it made me like I don't not it's weird, but like emotional ish. Like I just feel like the whole time I've lived in Virginia, like the past 6 months, I've kind of had ACOTAR. It's kind of just been there. And because Silver Flames was such a slow burn, and I tried a physical book first, and then I caved and got the audio book so that I could finally get through it. I'm an audiobooker for forever, for life. Like it feels like the end of like a period, an era in my life.
I feel that
I don't
completely.
know. Yeah, like I miss it, and it's weird for it to be over. And honestly, as I was dwindling down, I was trying to get it done. You know, I was like, I gotta get through. I gotta power through. Like, you know, we're gonna have episodes about this. I gotta get it done. But now that it's over, I'm just like, oh no,
The like
oh
finishing
no.
Silver Flames, I knew it was the last book, and I was like, oh gosh, oh no. Like I wanted to read and keep reading as fast as I could because I needed to know what happened, but at the same time I had this internal struggle that if you read too fast, it'll be over. And then when I had my when I finished the series, I think I had the worst book hangover I've ever had in my entire life. I was very much like there's a void. I remember going into work and I used to like whenever I have like 2 seconds of downtime at work, which is not normal, um, I would just pick my book up and read, or I just have it sitting there next to me at like right by the computers, like when I'm like doing stuff on the computer, like charting and whatnot. I would just have my book sitting right there, and I could just like, it's like my comfort. It's like my support, my emotional
Yeah.
support. And then when it was over, I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna
Oh my
do? Like,
gosh.
what do I actually do? Like, I left. I felt like I lost friends. I felt like I just went through like a breakup. I felt like I was leaving this place I didn't want to leave. Like, I'm leaving Prithian and Valaris, and I'm, you know, no longer gonna get to see my friends, aka like Cassian and Azriel and Nesta, Elaine, Reese, Lucian, Feyre, Moore, like Imran, everyone, and you just feel like oh my gosh, I'm losing my friends and I don't get to see them anymore. So why do you think I have gone back and I then re-listened to everything via audio and then reading the series because I'm like because in my time frame while I was waiting for Throne of Glass, because I'll be honest, I've read a couple books since then and nothing is hitting me like ACOTAR. And I have gone through all the TikTok recommendations that are like if you're in a reading slump after reading ACOTAR, read these books. I have gotten like at least 12 books and nothing's hitting like ACOTAR has. And I'm waiting. I'm really waiting for that one series that's gonna like bring me back and like put me in that world the way ACOTAR did. But I digress.
Well, maybe it'll be Throne of Glass for us. I've heard, so both of my coworkers, I talk about them all the time, but my one coworker, she had such bad ACOTAR hangover that she went straight into Throne of Glass and she breezed through all of them and she said that it was
Okay.
amazing. And then my other coworker, now knowing that I'm doing this podcast, she's like, okay, I'm gonna get it. So now she's listening to Throne of Glass so that she can follow along and everything like that. And she said that it's good. So I've got some positives from people I know
Yeah.
personally. Um,
I know a couple
but
people who
let's
like Throne of Glass more than ACOTAR, and I'm like,
no
I
way.
know. So I'm kind of excited. And there's eight
I'm
books.
excited too.
So eight versus
Have
five.
you looked into the plot at all, or is
No,
this going to be
but
kind of new?
TikTok has ruined, I know some characters. And I don't know if they're from
Okay.
Crescent City or if they're from Throne of Glass, but I mean, TikTok has honestly given me some spoilers into the Sarah J. Maas universe. And I know there's a character named Aileen, and I don't know if she's Throne of Glass. I think she is. Or there's Crescent City, and I know there's another character named Bryce, but I think Bryce is Crescent City.
Okay, so I'm gonna butcher some of these
Okay.
names. I just am forewarning you now, uh like the main character's name. I'm looking at it right now and I'm freaking out because I suck at pronunciation. Um it's Selena, maybe is the main character.
Are you
Sardothian,
Let me just
Throne of
see.
Glass.
Throne of Glass. Give me 1 second. Let me pull my book out here out of this. Like,
I'm just, yeah, you guys are literally like seeing this firsthand.
we've
This is
done,
how much we have not listened. This is how much we have not listened to it. So this is proof like we have not read or listened to
gosh,
this book yet. She hasn't even opened
no,
it.
I'm trying to get these books out of this. So I got it on Amazon for anyone wondering if they're like interested in reading the series. The whole eight series was like $54. $54 for eight books. Like,
Wow, that's not
why do
bad.
you not jump on this? They are paperback. But because normally a book is like $15 to $18 a book. And sometimes if you get the hardcover, it's
So
like 25.
I'm going to say summaries instead of synopsis, even though I know that's
Okay,
correct,
we
but
are
I don't
doing
know the
Throne of
plural.
Glass. Also,
Woohoo!
so
That looks cool. That's a cool cover.
cover. I'm looking at this now and I wonder if, so I know there are certain reading orders and everyone has a different reading order for these books. This is telling me we should be going in the order of The Assassin's Blade, then Throne of Glass, then Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. But on the back, I don't really know. Let's see if there's like a key in here. Is that a key that tells me how to read them? Throne of Glass. Oh, Assassin's Blade is first.
Whoops. Well, we're going to do Throne of Glass first because that's what I have. And that's whatever. Nobody said anything about my coworkers reading Throne of Glass too first. So
These pages, not to be really strange, are really soft. Very
oh,
soft.
nice.
I don't know why, not to be strange.
Why is everything called the Throne of Glass series though, if that's not the first book?
It might have been maybe, I don't know. I just haven't done my research on it because I've just been living in ACOTAR land and I'm like, okay, I'll just buy the whole set here.
Well, come for us in the comment section, but we're gonna read Throne of Glass and see what happens.
Well,
This could honestly be like a funny
this
thing.
could be very funny. Anyway, you guys let us know what order would you read them in? Because I've seen on TikTok people are like, no, you read it in this order, this order, this order, this order. And then someone comes along and is like, no, you read it this order, this order, this order, this order. So please let me know
Yeah.
your like Throne of Glass, Sarah J. Maas universe order of reading her books because I would love to know. Because let's be honest, this is not going to be a one and done thing for me. I'm probably going to read these at least 3 more times.
Yes, you could read it in different order and then we can compare it on the podcast. Okay, so I'm going to read one of the summaries. So just here you go. And if I butcher the names, please don't come for me. I have a college degree, but I seem to not be able to read anymore or speak clearly. So I'm sorry. Okay, so Throne of Glass follows, I'm going to say Celiana. I don't
I
know.
think it's Selena.
Selena, sorry. Selena. Yeah, that makes more sense. Follows Selena, an 18-year-old assassin in the kingdom of Ardalan. It's like Adarlan. Ardalan. I'm sure the audiobook will correct me. After a year of suffering for her crimes in a slave camp, she accepts the offer of Crown Prince Dorian, the king of Ardalan's son, to compete with other assassins and thieves for a chance to serve as the king's champion and eventually gain her freedom after 4 years in the king's service. This leads her to form unexpected bonds. Wonder what kind of bonds she's forming with the captain of the guard and Dorian, the crown prince. Over time, Selena is drawn into a conspiracy and a series of battles, leading to discoveries surrounding both the kingdom and herself. And then I'm going to read one more and then we can talk about it. The second summary that I found says, after a year of slavery, an infamous teenage assassin named Selena is given the chance to become the tyrannical king's personal assassin / king's champion by representing Prince Dorian in a competition against the most gifted thieves and assassins in the land. She must survive every test and trial in order to proceed to the final, in which she has to fight her remaining opponents. As candidates are found dead in the castle, their bodies ruptured, Selena finds herself delving deep into mysteries concerning not only her, but her very own ancestors and the creatures of darkness that dwell deep beneath the castle.
I feel
I'm
like
not
I'm
going to
getting
lie.
some like Hunger Games vibes. Maybe mixed with
Yeah.
like Harry Potter. I don't know. But I like it.
Yeah. So my initial thoughts is, well, my first prediction reading that summary is she's obviously going to win.
Yeah.
She has to win. She's going to be the king's like what assassin? Yeah, King's personal
Yeah.
assassin. So I'm predicting she wins.
I'm looking at the map right now for Throne of Glass. Like it's like how they had Perithian in the first one. And is it Adarlan? Adarlan?
See, I'm calling
Adarlan.
it Adelon, but please let us know.
Adarlan. Adarlan. So we have
Selena
Rilia.
sounds correct to me, though.
Yes, Selena sounds correct. Why does Terrason sound so familiar?
I don't know, but
Does
I will
Terrason
say
sound familiar to
so.
you?
What?
Terrason?
No,
Okay.
but also I could have missed it in the audiobooks, like honestly. The audiobooks, I feel like I miss things. Like I'm listening, but I'm not always fully paying attention. So there's different things that I miss, like the fact that Ianthe was murdered. I don't know why it didn't register for me. Like I
Well,
must
the
have been
Weaver, how I
distracted.
know Ianthe was murdered is because when they locked her in the Weaver's house, and then the Weaver came out for the battle with first Hybern with Ianthe's like gem crystal crown. And Loki, that's why I love the Weaver. I'm like, yes, go Weaver, kill her. Um,
Yeah. But based on reading the synopsis, it looks like we have another young female lead again, and that she is a very skilled assassin. So she's got like really cool skills to be able to kill people. It looks like she is suffered in her life, so she has trauma. She was in a slave camp for a year, and like, yeah, it seems very like Hunger Games meets though like non-futuristic because it's like there's kings and it seems like this is like back in the day. So it's interesting, but yeah, and I've also heard that Throne of Glass throughout the series, it's got like hints of magic. Like there's like talk and whispers about magic, and I know that that's like in the very beginning of that book because my coworker told me that there's some underlying tones that like magic has existed before or like is out there somewhere, but like it's kind of forbidden
yeah.
to be talked about.
Well, so the synopsis on this one, or the summary, is in a world without magic, an assassin is summoned to the castle. She comes not to kill the vicious king who rules from his throne of glass, but to win her
Mm.
freedom. If she defeats 23 killers, thieves, and warriors in a competition, she will be released from prison to serve as the king's champion. Her name is Selena Sardothian. The crown prince will provoke her, the captain of the guard will protect her, and a princess from a faraway land will befriend her. But something evil dwells in the castle, and it's there to kill. When her competitors start dying one by one, Selena's fight for freedom becomes a fight for survival and a desperate quest to root out the evil before it destroys her world. Okay, can I make a quick prediction reading the back of this book?
Yes.
Selena has some sort of ancestor kind of magic involved, and something along the lines of this crown prince knows ancestors are and that she's going to be some great person that saves the magic or has some magic sort of something with her. So that's why he is trying to release her. The captain of the guard will protect her because he knows how important she is. And like the prince is provoking her to get her to like, kind of like a Rhysand did to her. Kind of, come on, like you could do better. You can do better. Like the making her read or write, like Rhysand is the most handsome. Rhysand is the best lover. Like those little things. I think that's what the crown prince is going to do. The captain knows, the
Mm.
captain is a Lucian, and the captain knows how important she is and how special she is. A princess from a faraway land will befriend her. I hope it's not an Ianthe situation. I'll be pissed. But a princess from a
Yeah.
faraway land will befriend her as just a friend, maybe not knowing her magic and her importance and all of this. And then the something evil that dwells in the castle knows that she's magical and is coming for her, and in the process is killing all her competitors along the way, trying to get to her. So now it's a battle of survival. And at the very end of the book, we're going to find out her magic is going to like erupt from somewhere, and then she's going to have all these powers. Not very. That's my prediction.
Well done. That is a
Thank you.
great prediction of the book.
It's probably so far off base, and I can't wait to watch this
I don't
back.
know. I think so. Let me take a stab. Let's see if
Okay.
I feel like I can't I can't upstage that. That is pretty freaking good. So I think that I do agree that I predict that there's something in her family line that is magical. I think that let's see. So it says that the prince, so I think maybe you're right that he does know, but I'm going to take it a different direction, that maybe he's just visiting the camps for some reason, and there's something about her, or there's stories about her, because she's infamous, right? It says
Hmm.
that she's infamous, so she's well known for her skills, so maybe he's just heard about her and her skills, and so he's trying to find the best, or his fathers said, go my prince, go my son, go find the best of the best. Who do we have in all of the camps, and pick them out for this competition so that I can find somebody who is going to be the best assassin for me. And so that is how he discovers her, because she's infamous in the land. So Prince Dorian, that's his job, and he goes and he gets her. But in that process, she's maybe she's beautiful, maybe she's got this personality that's attractive to him. So
Maybe they're
I think
mates.
that Prince, I don't know, but I think that Prince Dorian begins to develop some sort of bond and feelings for her. Maybe not because he thinks that she's magical, but because of who she is. And then this guard, they become friends as well. And I think that the guard and Prince Dorian both have like this developed feelings for her. I don't know why. Maybe there's this like tug of
Love
war between the two
triangle.
of them, a love triangle. And obviously, then, as I predicted before, she's going to do very well in the competition. But I think that the thing beneath the castle is, I agree with you. I think sensing something to do with her and like her ancestry, and the thing in the castle is magical, and so it is a world without magic, so people don't have magic to be able to combat this thing, so it's going to be a very raw battle between something that is magical and dark, and this mysterious darkness that is in the castle that now Selena is going to have to use her skills to defeat. And I think she might also befriend some of the people that she's competing against too, and they probably won't all die. Um, I don't think that all 23 or whatever
Yeah.
people are going to die either. I think that there's going to be a few of those assassins that survive, and that they become side characters in the rest of the books. And I think it kind of ends with like that thing, like you thought, like it ruins the competition, it ruins the final competition, and then it becomes a battle of that, and then she is able to defeat it, and because she's able to defeat it or suppress it or get it out of the castle somehow, she becomes the king's right hand, and she gets her slavery or slave camp years waived, because she saves the day somehow, or helps save the day somehow.
Okay, can
And
I
that is
make
my
a
prediction.
prediction real quick?
Go
Just,
ahead. That's what this
just
is for.
looking at the titles of these books, I think
Just spilled coffee on myself.
so they know that she is magical and she is the rightful queen of the
Just
kingdom.
spilled coffee all over
Did
myself. I'm
you?
sorry.
No, you're good.
Just a little. I like took it, and it's like not even like full. I just took it, and it just went bloop, and it just. Please, I'm not just, I don't know if you can see this. You could probably can. Okay, whatever. Okay, go ahead. So looking at so I don't have all the names. So go ahead. What's your prediction for that?
Oh, sorry, still yawning. It's early. Okay, so I think that there's two options here. One, her and Prince Dorian fall in love and she becomes his like wife. And because the names of the book are The Assassin's Blade, aka Selena being the assassin, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash. So if I want to get really cryptic, and we're looking at Throne of Glass right now. Probably, this is me just, I read a lot, and this is me just guessing plot lines here. Assassin's Blade is about Selena, like the prequel. Maybe we should have read that one first. And it's probably her story on how she became who she is and this assassin. Now we're looking at Throne of Glass, where we're introduced to King Dorian, who rules from, he's a vicious king, but he comes to, like from his throne of glass. So either Dorian is evil.
Dorian's the prince.
Oh, okay. So he's a prince. So just kidding. So maybe the king is evil. And then we realize the king sent Dorian to kill her, not realizing that, like, Dorian will realize afterwards that she's the rightful ruler for the throne, but the king wants her dead because he found out and he doesn't want any issues. Or or Dorian and her fall in love and then she takes on the role of princess. Because then the next one would be, and like that's them entering the throne of glass. Like either her entering it by default, as in she is the rightful ruler, or by falling in love with Dorian. And we have Crown of Midnight. Um, and I think that's going to be her becoming like the princess and the queen. We have Heir of Fire and like being the heir, like Heir, like you're an heir of the throne. And I think Heir of Fire is going to be her powers, and she's going to have some sort of silver flames-esque fire power like Nesta does. Queen of Shadows is she's going to be the queen now at this point. King is hasta luego. And we just have her and either King Dorian or Prince Dorian. I'm not sure. Either she's going to be in love and happily married to him, or she's going to be alone and ruling her throne by herself. And that's going to be Queen of Shadows. And I'm assuming the Queen of Shadows is maybe Shadow Singer. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. If like this whole ACOTAR world is similar. Then we have Empire of Storms. And I think something's going to go down there. And this is her realizing like she's now ruling an empire, not just a kingdom. Like there's more, or not just like one country. It's now like a whole empire. It's a bigger than she realized. Tower of Dawn, I'm not 100% sure. I want to say Dawn is like the start of like a new day. Maybe that's a novella series. Is that novella? No, Tower of Dawn's quite large. Okay. Well, if we're looking at the word dawn, I'm thinking dawn is the start of a new day. So here's a start of a new era. And then Kingdom of Ash is going to be, Ash is
Burn
after
it all
burn it
down.
down. Let's start from anew. So Kingdom of Ash is going to be her breaking generational curses and starting over. So that's my prediction. I can't wait to be wrong.
Wow. So as I was listening, I think that that's not a bad prediction, but again, I'm going to take it in a different direction.
Absolutely.
So, Prince Dorian,
Yeah.
he has feelings for Selena, but
Okay.
it's unrequited love. So she does not have the feelings back for him that he has for her, but he wants to protect her and he has feelings and care for her. I think that there's another prince out there or another king out there or some other kingdom, and she falls in love with that heir, and that's how that happens.
Oh, sugar.
So it's like a Rhysand situation a little bit where like somebody else, somebody we haven't even met yet and we're not going to meet in Throne of Glass. Maybe they'll make a slight appearance or they'll talk about other kingdoms, but it's going to be from some other kingdom, I think. And then maybe there's a big war that happens as she starts to align herself with a different kingdom. And then everything gets burned to ash. And then a new dawn is after the war, after that happens between all of the lands or the kingdoms or whatever. That's when it's the new dawn. It's the new,
What's
the
Tower
new
of
age.
Dawn, then it's Kingdom of Ash.
Well, that I don't know. Then I don't know.
I don't know.
A new dawn, and then we burn it all to the ground. I don't know. And I think it's done. I think it's just 8 books. I don't think she's going to continue.
No, she is.
This is a finished.
No, she's.
Oh, she is
not done. I believe. Is it? Maybe I could be wrong. I think maybe I'm thinking of Crescent City. I know she just signed with Bloomsbury Books for a couple more books, and I'm not sure if it's in the Crescent City universe, the ACOTAR story, or the, I guess, the ACOTAR story, the Crescent City story, or Throne of Glass. I thought I saw somewhere that maybe we were getting one more of Throne of Glass, but I know we're definitely getting two more of Crescent City, and I think two more of ACOTAR. One might be a novella. I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely comment below. Are we completely off base?
oh,
Try to avoid spoilers. But as we go on, like, I think that if this is, if you guys are really enjoying this series where we're doing the three parts of Throne of Glass, as we move on to the next book, let us know how, like, we're going to be doing this. Wake up, girl, have your
I
tea.
know.
Um, we are going to do the next book as well and then talk about our predictions for it and read the summary and things like that. And I think we'll have more accurate predictions at that point, hopefully, because we'll at least have one book read. So we'll understand more and know how to pronounce things better. Um, but there's definitely going to be love stories. I don't know if these are as raunchy as ACOTAR, though. Have
I
you
heard
heard?
that they're not as raunchy, but the story is apparently just like leaps and like people said like if you love the story in ACOTAR, this apparently is so much more in depth and so much more of like the plot versus like it's a very slow burn for spiciness. We're at
Okay.
mild spice right now. So
I definitely think that
I love how
I
these
definitely think
chapters
that
are
Prince
though.
Dorian
Look.
is going to fall in love with her. Prince Dorian is going to fall in love with Selena. I just think that it's going to be
Mhm.
unrequited and she's not going to choose him. I'm predicting right now she's not going to choose Prince Dorian in the end. It's going to be somebody we haven't even met yet.
So in ACOTAR, the chapters aren't like it just says chapter whatever, but look, it's kind of like a little drawing at the top or a little bit of something. I don't know. Let's see.
That's
It
beautiful.
is beautiful. I'm just very excited to read these. Assassin's Blade, let's see. Yeah, this is definitely this is a prequel, it says, to Throne of Glass.
So maybe it came out later, but then now you're
Okay.
supposed to read it.
Yeah.
We can
So,
read that. We'll read that last.
okay. I don't want to read
Because I'm
any
not going to
more
want to go back in
summaries.
time. I just know it, Taylor. I'm not going to want to go back in time
Okay.
until the very end when I have book hangover, and then I'm like, okay, well, we still have that prequel. Like that'll keep us going. We still have that prequel.
I think when we read the prequel, we're going to connect a lot of dots. And that's my favorite. I love going back and rereading things and connecting all the dots and be like, oh my goodness. But I've also heard Sarah J. Maas does one heck of a job world building. And apparently, I can't remember if it's this series or if it's Crescent City that ties a little bit into ACOTAR. And you hear tones, it might have been Crescent City. I could be wrong though. But yeah,
I would love it if somehow the world we're in the same world, just in different times and maybe different locations.
yes.
Because they talk about the continent, but like what else is in the world, right?
Well,
Is and also like are dimensions involved? Like what is I want to see her tie it together. I'd be very pleased to see that
I
happen.
heard somewhere that like I try to always avoid them, but there's always like there's one girl on TikTok, she's really cute. Her name is like a Happy Hermit. She does like breakdowns. Um, and I watched like a couple of her videos, but I'll be honest, lately I've been avoiding them because a lot of them have spoilers and I'm like, nope, 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 don't want to hear it, don't want to hear it, don't want to hear it. So I haven't watched any of her videos in a long time, but I remember at one video she posted something about something about she mentioned along the lines of like Sarah J. Maas tying everything in, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like,
I did see something spoiled, like there might be some book coming that people are thinking will tie the three together.
House of Flames and Shadows, something in Shadows, for Crescent City, and everyone's thinking. I've seen a spoiler about Bryce and Azriel. They might be like mates. And I don't know if I meet Bryce here or if I meet her in Crescent City, and I think I meet her in Crescent City. Actually, I know I do. I know I meet Bryce in Crescent City because, duh, because I started reading Crescent City and then I stopped because we were going to probably read it together. So I stopped reading Crescent City and I literally only got like one chapter, not even one chapter in. And I put it down. And I was like, wait, wait, wait. Let me hold up. Let me wait for my girl.
Do it for the podcast.
More like do it for you because I remember when we first found out we were both reading ACOTAR together, I said, Val, can we form a book club? So, and the next series, can we read it together and we can form a book club? And here we are forming a book club, but we record it.
Yes, it's great. I'm honestly probably going to start Throne of Glass as soon as we get off of this podcast. But we do have to make sure I've split it up and that we're stopping at the same point. So since you have the physical book, we'll explain, I think, because like the audiobook, at least on Apple Books, it has tracks. It doesn't have chapters. So I like split it into like 4.5 hours a piece pretty much.
Is it a
'Cause I think it's
graphic
like,
audio again?
no, I couldn't find graphic audio for it.
Oh,
So I don't know. Yeah, but I think the whole book is like 13 point something hours. So we're probably going to get through it pretty quickly,
I was
which
just
is
about
fine.
to say, if you give me a day, I could finish this book. So I got to be really self-disciplined.
No, how many chapters are in it?
Let me get it out again. I just put it away. Not a big deal. These are like really squished in here. So if you see me struggling, yeah, that's why. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, this is like a day read. I could read this in a day. Let's see. We
Well,
have,
you're going to split it into 3 episodes, so sorry.
I know. That's going to be really hard for me. I'm going to be honest. Ooh, there's a conversation with Sarah J. Maas in the back of the book. I love that. Um, that. Let's see. Oh,
What?
Valerie, there is a key in the back that tells you how to pronounce the names. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Selena. We said Selena right. Sardos Ian.
Selena Sardorthian.
Elena. We said it right. Yep, Selena. Okay. And then there's a character named, I would have pronounced him Cole, Chaol. It's Kaol. AY-ALL. Kaol.
Kale.
No,
Okay.
Kaol.
Oh, KL. KL?
Kaol. 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 I don't know.
Kale. Kale.
Dorian. Nehemia. That's beautiful.
Maybe that's the friend.
Nehemia Yetger. Okay. Caltain. Rompier. That is French. Okay. So we have some here. Arobian. Okay. Alentia is another one. That's pretty. Alentia. Beautiful names. Let's see. Places. Eelway. Elway. Okay. Aurelia. I would want to say Aurelia, but okay,
What's the
Aurelia.
kingdom? How do you pronounce the kingdom?
Adarlan.
Aderlin?
Adarlan.
Adarlin? Adarlin? Adarlin or
Adarlan.
Aderlin?
It's AH-DAR-LEN. Adarlan.
Aderlin.
Adarlan? I don't know.
So, yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that's good that we have some of those pronunciations now. So the kingdom of Adarlin.
Adarlan.
We should have done this in the beginning, but you know what?
Exactly.
Everybody's
Feeling
along
tongue
for the
twisted
journey.
at times with this quick and easy pronunciation guide. You'll never be afraid to bring up your favorite characters and places in conversations again. Thank you.
This is very raw podcast for y'all. But so let me talk a little bit about let me talk a little bit about what I think. So we did our predictions. What
Right. So this ends on chapter 55. Everyone knows what chapter 50, if you say chapter 55, what is chapter 55? Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Okay.
I love that.
My composure is back. Chapter 55. Woo. Okay.
So what is that? So I think what we're gonna do, if you guys want to follow along, is we're gonna read the first 18 chapters. and then stop and do an episode. And then we're going to read the next 18 chapters and stop and do an episode. And then we'll just finish out the rest of the book and
Yeah.
then do an episode about the last third and then basically overall the series.
And then we'll
So
finish Throne of
far,
Glass. Yay!
yeah, and then we'll move on to the next one. So far, based on like kind of the things that we've been talking about, our predictions and everything like that, I think that Throne of Glass is going to capture me quicker than ACOTAR did. I think it's going to be like, just given the length of the book, I think it's going to be a quicker, I'm hoping that it's going to be a quicker grab than ACOTAR. And I think I'm going to like Throne of Glass a lot. I don't know if I'm going to like it better than like A Mist and Fury. But I think I might like it a little bit more than ACOTAR because I think it's going to grab me quicker. And ACOTAR was a slow burn. It took till the second half of the book. So this being, 55 chapters, like a little bit shorter, I'm hoping it grabs me quick. What do you think?
I think it's gonna grab me quick as well. I'm skeptical to say it's gonna grab me like ACOTAR grabbed me, but Sarah J. Maas did write this book and create this world. So I do have no doubt that I'm gonna be sucked in and sucked in quick. I would love to find a world that I am as inspired by as I am Valaris. So I'm really looking forward to that. Um, and I don't know, I'm really excited to get to know these characters and see, because again, Sarah J. Maas did such a good job with the ACOTAR characters and giving them so much depth. If you hear any noises, that's my dog. He's currently jumping up and down on the bed in the guest bedroom. He's just
He's
being
doing great today, by the way.
yeah, he's not barking as much today, even though it's downpouring, and now he's chewing his toy. So you might hear a dog chewing his toy in the background. But anyway, I really hope that I fall in love with the characters as much as I did in ACOTAR, and I'm just excited to see her creating more characters for me to love. I'm happy there's 8 books, so my book breakup won't be for a little bit longer this time. I'll have because I flew through ACOTAR way too quick. So hopefully this one can hold me over for a little bit. We'll see. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm going to really fall in love with the characters. I've seen some of the artwork of some of the characters, although I don't have, like, it's hard for me to retain, like, because I don't care about those characters yet. But the artwork looks pretty damn good. Some of the guys look pretty fire. And so, like, obviously that's very important. I mean, I'm predicting that I'm going to like Selena more than I like Feyre.
I mean, maybe. I would love to find a character I love more than Nesta. And like I want her story and her struggle. Like if Selena is just as amplified and complex and deep as Nesta is, by all means, bring it on. Again, I've seen spoilers, so I don't know who this Aileen girl is. Maybe she's in Crescent City and I hadn't met her in the first couple pages. Um, I don't know. Aileen? Aileen, I think her name was. It's like A-I-L-E-N. I don't know. A-E-I-L-N. I don't know. They all look very Irishy. Like all the names Sarah J. Maas picks seem very Irish. And I'm
Yeah.
curious if she is Irish descent of some sort, because I know she's from PA. But I want to know, like, is she Irish descent? And that's where she's getting her inspiration for her names from. Except a couple of them are French. So I don't know.
I just think like Selena sounds so freaking badass already. Like she sounds so amazing, and like I'm really hoping that she's just like not as annoying as Feyre was. Like Feyre was so annoying in the first half of ACOTAR, and she kind of has her moments. And then by the end of Silver Flames, I'm like, oh girl, I love you. I love the growth. I love it. It's great. But I think Selena, like she just sounds like she's a trained assassin. She's infamous. So she's obviously done some amazing stuff in her life and like really cool. Like she sounds like just like a badass. Like she is very cutthroat. I mean, to be an assassin, you literally have to kill people. And I don't think, like, I know Feyre like ends up like fighting the
Struggles
war
with
and
killing
doing all this
people.
stuff. Yeah, but she struggles with that. So I think that Selena's going to be more cutthroat, and I think
I
I'm
would
really going to
be
like that about her.
I would be interested. So we see Selena knowing her, she is an assassin, she is very cutthroat, but I'm interested to see, knowing Sarah J. Maas, the guilt that that carries on her and the burden that it carries on her, and that every life she takes, I'm sure, takes some sort of toll on her body. And then, like, while she's already this wonderful, trained, like, badass assassin, what are we going to see from her, like, going forward? How else is she going to grow? And what other ways of her is she now going to grow and become so much more to us? Is it going to be an emotional growth? Is it going to be a total, like, 180, like, I don't want to kill people anymore growth? Is it going to be, now I'm a queen, I can't just be, I have to be compassionate, I can't just be this assassin if I'm now going to be ruling a kingdom? Like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be her learning how to soften. That's why I think she's gonna have these huge walls up based on all the things she's been in her life. And so that's why I
I
think
think,
like
yeah.
Dorian's gonna be and it's gonna be trying to like take those down, but it's gonna be unrequited love. And I think yeah, she's gonna have a hard exterior and we're gonna see that growth like this like very strong, skilled woman. Like obviously she's only 18, so we're going to see her come into her own and she's going to have to soften, I think, for probably various different reasons. And I think people around her are going to soften her, but also she's probably been betrayed a lot. She'll probably be betrayed in the series more. So it's going to
Mm.
put those walls right back up. So we're going to see this very human struggle with her that I'm really excited to see. I don't think that I'm going to I don't think that you're gonna like any man character in the book more than Cassian, but I'd be very curious to see like what we have going on because I did hear that there was a Tamlin-esque character in there, and I'm very curious.
Oh, that was just funny. I mean, TikTok said it best. Cassian is the only acceptable book boyfriend. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I mean, I freaking love Cassian, so I will
No, drink to
cheers.
that. Yeah.
I will drink to that. Grab your cup of tea. Let's cheers to Cassian.
Cheers to Cassian.
Mm. But
I love him. I'm almost done
overall,
my tea.
overall, I want to like it just as much as ACOTAR.
Yeah.
Um, and um, we'll see. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a different type of journey. I think it's going to be cool to like not have a world with magic, but have magical undertones. Because I think it's going to be, I don't know, maybe a little bit more realistic, but
Wait,
still has that fantasy aspect of it. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why I'm raising my hand like I'm in school.
Let me see. Taylor in the back.
Okay, okay. Came up with this. If Sarah J. Maas has this entire universe connected, right? Maybe this is after ACOTAR. Hear me out. And Nesta created those blades and those swords, and that's why we have the assassin's blade. And Selena is wielding one of Nesta's blades. And only this would only work if, like, from the Dread Trove and all that stuff, if this is after, like, post ACOTAR, and I don't know if it is, but could you imagine if the assassin's blade, this is it the blade that Nesta made?
You know what? Like that would be. I have thought like maybe this is a either like before Faye, but no, that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's after Faye, and there's been like there was another crazy battle, crazy war. Something happened with the cauldron to like almost scatter magic and like almost wipe out like most of the magic in the entire like world or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And now this is why it's like oh, there was magic once upon a time. Oh, we don't talk about magic anymore. Or we don't bring that, like, it's a taboo topic now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Like, it
So
was
it's
a
called the
thing.
Assassin's Blade, and maybe because she can wield the blade, she has some sort of magic to her because it's part of like that Dread Trove sort of situation. That like Oh, I have goosebumps. Oh my goodness. What if
But
that is
where are our characters though? Because they are high
post,
fae.
but they're
Who
post them?
Oh my gosh, later on, like if they do actually connect them, like they are high fae, so they are basically immortal, but like we find out like, oh my God, my heart's about to break. Who perished and who's still around and where are they? And they've gone into hiding. Like who the hell knows? But like I know some of our characters are
Oh, I
still
don't like
alive
that.
in this. I know, but we're gonna find out that some of our heroes have fallen in this war. Like maybe this is like another like
Mm.
500 years, 200, 300, 500 years or something past post the war that happens. The big war with the continent that's coming. And that's what she's waiting for to then build and bridge and then reveal that Throne of Glass starts, 300, 400 years in the future after this giant war that happened where the cauldron was
Oh my God.
something and the magic was almost completely wiped out. And then the Fae have to go into hiding. And it's oh my gosh. And like their powers are diminished too or something like that too. Like
Maybe there's
Rhysand and
something
Fae.
already online that is like letting us know which one is a prequel, which one's a post, or even like how they are connected in that regard. I just haven't done any like spoiler research, and thank you, Whiskey. Hi. I haven't done any spoiler research in that area yet, but I would be so curious to know because now, like, just because the Assassin's Blade, what did she name? What did Nesta name her blade?
I forget. It was some
Abaraxis,
yeah,
Abaraxis, or
something
something?
like that. Yeah.
Ataraxis. I'm pretty sure.
Ataraxis, yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if the blade that we see right here, if that is Ataraxis.
That would be freaking amazing. But that does mean, Taylor, that my theory might be some sort of correct, where some of our heroes,
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
it would be very good writing to find out that some of our heroes have fallen in that war.
Oh,
And but we don't find out until Sarah J. Maas writes the war that's coming, the war with the continent. That's coming. And I think that that war is going
which
to
is why I
change.
really wholeheartedly believe that Reese is going to be ruler of all of Perithian. I think so.
I don't want that to happen. I was so happy in Silver Flames when Reese was like, no, I'm not going to take over all the courts because I love all the courts and I don't want Rhysand to rule the whole thing.
Well, he would
But
just like he would rule as like the main guy, but like still Tarquin and Helion and everyone like Baron would all be like still ruling their court, but like Reese would just be the one they answer to. I don't know. I think either Rhysand or Helion, because Helion they're like pretty pretty even toned, and I don't think they're either of them are like power hungry.
yeah, I
I
don't
think
know,
Tarquin's
dude.
too inexperienced.
I know, but oh, he's so cute. I
He's
love
so cute,
him.
but I think he's too inexperienced, and people would just take
Oh
advantage of
yeah,
him and
he's so
overthrow him in a
young. He's
heartbeat.
the young. He's like a baby. I think he's only like 80 years old or something. It's
Yeah,
like
well, and
crazy.
he just got to power, and like he has all these ideals and everything. I just think people would overthrow him in 2 seconds. But anyway, that's my prediction. I wholeheartedly believe that he might be wielding Ataraxis, and I'm just so curious. Like the Assassin's Blade, like that's what it's named after, and maybe that's why the thing that's coming to kill her is coming for the blade, not coming for her, but coming for Ataraxis because it knows it's part of now the Dread Trove. Oh man, that
Oh,
is a
there's
prediction.
so much. I'm very excited. There's so much that we can go. Like, there's so much where, like, um, ways that this story can go, and like, I'm really excited to see how Sarah J.
Hang
Maas
up and
connects it
let's
all
go read.
together. Huh?
Let's hang up so we can go read. I'm ready.
Yeah, this has been great. Like please let us know what you think about all of our predictions. There's been so many predictions in this alone, and I love this back and forth. I'm gonna end this by saying I really want to see that this is in the same world as all of our lovely heroes from ACOTAR, and I would love for them to still be some of them to still be around and for them to all connect at some point because they are immortal high fae. Um, And that is what I would love to see eventually. And I think that I'm really going to like this book, and I can't wait. We're going to read the first 18 chapters if you want to follow along. Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. Oh
Any
man,
last words and
um
predictions?
I'm feeling in my gut, maybe I'm wrong, that this is like I think its name Ataraxis. Was that the name? I don't know. I can't remember if that's really the name. I could totally be butchering this, but I really think that it's going to tie into her being in control of the Dread Trove in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's my prediction is that the blade and everything is part of the ones that Nesta created. And because didn't she created
She
three.
created three.
Okay, because in this one picture, give me a moment here, she has two blades in her hand, small blades. She has the one long one now too. So if she is in control of all three of Nesta's blades that Nesta made, she is 100% potentially, maybe, hear me out, the daughter of Nesta and Cassian.
I don't think that that's true, but that would be dope.
Well, Nesta was human born and she was cauldron made. Nesta was cauldron made. So, which means that maybe she would also be, Selena would be Cauldron Maid-esque. I don't know, which is why she could handle the Dread Trove. Like, there has to be some way, like, because Nesta is Cauldron Maid, Selena has to also be Cauldron Maid. So that's my only theory
We'll see.
is Nyx is also Cauldron Maid. Fun fact, if you think about it.
Yeah. The
Because
cauldron. Well, the mother saved them. Yeah, the cauldron and
yeah,
mother.
so he's also made as well. But I don't know. That's my final thought. I think she's going to have some sort of tie with these blades, and that's my final. We'll see. I can't wait to come back.
Do you think she's going to end up with Dorian or someone else?
Can I say both? I think maybe in the beginning she'll end up with Dorian, and then she'll find someone else,
Just like in ACOTAR.
or maybe Dorian will die trying to save her or something. And that'll be like her love, and she'll be like, no.
I am going to say I don't think she's going to end up with Dorian,
Okay.
and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, we gotta
Yes.
go.
Well, thank you for having a little whimsy chat with us today.
Thanks for joining
Make
us.
sure to follow and subscribe at Whimsy Gossip on TikTok, on YouTube,
Instagram,
Spotify,
Spotify, wherever you listen to
all
your
the things.
podcast.
Yeah, all the things that we could possibly get Whimsy Gossip on. Work in progress of learning the podcast world. But yeah, follow us on everything. Comment below what you think on YouTube. And we'll catch you next week for episode 4.
Yeah.
Where we
All right. Well,
talk,
thanks so much
I
for
think
coming.
episode 4 we're gonna be talking about books 1 and 2 of ACOTAR, so tune in.
Jeez, I think we've only done ACOTAR so far.
No,
I
because
promise
last
you
episode we
we are
talked about Twilight. Remember?
true. Okay.
Well, we're trying to mix it up, and now we're getting into Throne of Glass, so we're trying to get, mix it up for you guys, but ACOTAR is
We're keeping
definitely
the
like,
fantasy. Oh yeah, ACOTAR is ACOTAR.
I mean, ACOTAR
ACOTAR.
will always have ACOTAR.
We'll always have
Like,
ACOTAR. We'll
people say
always
we'll
have
always have,
Cassian.
they're like, we'll always have Paris. I'm like, Taylor, we'll always have
Have
ACOTAR.
ACOTAR.
All
Okay.
right. I love you so much.
Love you.